tiptoes, hiding from the big bro.
Hey guys, my name is Rachel James and I'm a professional pickleball player, and today we're going to be talking about how to become a professional pickleball player in a sense of you needing to know the two tours and what they can offer you as a professional player to start your professional journey off on a great foot, and then just to keep rolling forward. So yeah, let's get to it. So first off, we're going to talk about the APP Tour and what it offers their professional players. APP gives prize money to the top 9 players. If you're in 9th place, you get around $600. If you're in 1st place, you get around $2,500, just depending on the tournament, whether it's a major or one of their other tournaments that they have during the year. So if you fall into that top 9, then you're going to be getting paid. 9th place is when you win the back draw, and then everyone higher than 9th place, 8th place on up are the main draw wins. So you would have to win 2 main draw matches. And then if you lose your 3rd round main draw match, you'll still be making money. I received bronze in one of the APP tournaments, and I received $1,200. There are ways where you can turn that $1,200 into $4,000 or $5,000. And I'll be talking about different ways where you can make money in pickleball in different videos. Other thing to take note is that if you're top 10 on the APP tour, then your entry fees will be waived. So you won't have to pay your entry fees any longer. That's anywhere between $500 to $700, depending on if you get the weather and injury insurance that they have, and depending on how many divisions you sign up for. So they waive that if you're top 10 on the APP tour. Another thing to consider is that the APP has a location now in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's opening up. Their first tournament's going to be there in January. I'm going to be there. At that location, it's going to be a training ground for up-and-coming professional pickleball players, whether that means you're younger, you're college age, or you could be older, you could be an adult. There's no age restrictions on that, and they've just done such a really great job at developing the younger generation, putting resources to developing more pickleball players and making the sport younger. The other thing to consider on the APP tour is that they do have back draws. So a back draw is if you lose in your 1st or 2nd round, you get put into a completely different bracket. So if you lose in your 1st or 2nd round in the main draw, you get put into the back draw, and you still have the opportunity to make money. But once you're in the back draw, you're going to have to win the back draw. So you're going to have to win out all the rest of your matches to be paid. And that person is 9th place. Another thing that I noticed at the APP is at some tournaments, if you are ranked top 10, they do give you really great parking. So a lot of the time at these events, they have off-site parking because there's just so many people. And when you are top 10, they do try and give you preferential treatment and give you that parking space near the site and give that benefit to you. So that's really nice. I like that. And I can't believe I was going to forget this, that at all the APP tournaments, they have lunch for their players, free lunch for their professional players, while you are scrambling around between matches, because sometimes you get 10 minutes between each match, and other times you get 2 hours between each match. And it's just so nice that they offer a free lunch for their professional players. It just makes the experience just so much better. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the thoughtfulness that the APP Tour has to their pro players. Now, the PPA Tour has a completely different structure than the APP Tour. So the PPA Tour contracts their players. If they like your game, or they think you're going to be really good, or you just do really well in a few tournaments, they'll offer you a contract, and that contract can span anywhere between only paying for their entry fees and immediately getting into the main draw, and then all the way up to getting paid $100,000 plus $1,000 per year to be on the tour. There was one time I got to the round of 16 in a tournament and I got paid like $80. There was another time I got to the quarterfinals. I think I got paid like 100 and something. So, you know, the PPA doesn't really like pay out. But when you play on the PPA tour, you are playing for the opportunity to eventually become contracted, which I think is innovative because not a lot of times in individual sports, you see tours contracting players. And quite honestly, like when you contract players, there's a level of financial stability where you can just go all in on the sport and not just have to worry about always winning. So when you play on the PPA tour to get really paid, you will have to be contracted. And those contracts, the offers do range. The other thing to take note about the PPA tour is that the PPA has contracted out the vast majority of the top players in Duper, using that Duper database. And because they've contracted out a lot of the top players, a lot of people attribute the PPA tour as being the professional tour because they have contracted out like the top 25, like the top 20, top 25, something like that. So when people think of the PPA tour, they think of it as being the professional tour. And when you're contracted by the PPA tour, you're not allowed to play on the APP tour. So what you can get out of it is that if you do extremely well, you're doing extremely well against the top players in the world. But you are seeing a lot of the APP players really being able to take it to the PPA players as well. The APP does not contract out players. So if you do well on the APP tour, great. And you can also do well on the PPA tour. But if you do well on the PPA tour and you sign a contract with them, you cannot play on the APP tour. So that's really something to take into consideration on your journey to becoming a professional pickleball player and really how you can think about the two tours. On another note with the PPA, they do give out lunches, but I don't think they give out lunches at every tournament. There have been a few tournaments where I haven't seen a lunch. Maybe it's just because I was playing or just practicing, but there have been quite a few times where I didn't think that there was any lunch there, but they do have snacks. Like they do have like bananas and oranges and Cliff Bars and things like that at the PPA tour under the professional pickleball tent. So they have a tent for professional pickleball players. So does the APP tour. Oh, the surprise. I have 3 paddles here and you guys can win one of them. 1, 2, 3. This paddle is the Project 001, the Luck Halo Power XL. All of those paddles are unused. If you like this video, comment, subscribe, comment which paddle you want, and tag 3 people, then you'll be in the running to receive one of the 3 paddles that I have here. So that's a little bit how you can think about the 2 tours along your professional pickleball journey to become a top professional pickleball player and to be the best that you can be. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.